Welcome to MTN Pulse Virals. My name is Siyabonga Medani and I am your host for this season. This is the only talent show that challenges online musicians. Now, we've already lost 2 contestants. Last week we saw Mtwana leave us. It was painful. Thanks for giving us your energy. But for the rest of the team, that means the rest of the 6 contestants, they get closer to this 200,000 reward. Remember, this 200,000 is 100,000 in cash. A non-recoupable deal from Soul Distro, which is 50,000 for a music video and another 50,000 for a digital campaign. It's MTN Pulse Viral. Are contestants ready for what we're giving them today? Only time will tell. They did say they're viral ready.
Let's play the game. The truth today is challenging. Yeah. I get viral ready. Yeah. I get viral ready. You win or lose, beyond the rules. You rise to fall, we not fix all. Yeah. I get viral ready. Yeah. I get viral ready.
Good day, MTN Pulse Viralers. You're just making the words as they happen, you know. Viralers, congratulations on the 4th week of being closer to the 200,000 Rand reward. Today's challenge is going to be interesting. In the world of music, they call it ghostwriting. Ghostwriting is defined as something where you understand the artist, or an artist gives you a brief and you write a song. You write a song that literally, like when people hear it, they don't know that actually somebody else wrote it. It's happened multiple times with many artists. We also see it as something that's happening with our generation of Amapiano artists, where they're having camps, where they're actually sharing, and you could see how great the songs are becoming. So today, I feel that you guys have spent enough time together. I mean, this is your 4th week. So with that being said, I feel that it's only right that I pair you guys up and I see whether you guys have actually really built some cohesiveness and there is some chemistry with you guys through music, because this is a music competition. So you started off by writing about you. Now you're going to write about your contestant colleague. You get it? What we're going to do is get into our challenge today. We're gonna go to studio. I'm taking you to studio. Hey, I took you to the club, now I'm taking you to the studio. Plus, I got somebody special. After what you guys did last week, I was like, you know what? Y'all forcing me to up my game. You know, with all the people that you brought to the club last week, I was like, you know what? I need to also just up my game. So I got some very special guests today who are gonna actually give you a masterclass, and the other one will actually, well, he'll help us determine who goes or who stays, because writing is a skill that all of us can claim. We had to get an internationally acclaimed songwriter to give us guidance today. Can we go to the studio?
Yeah. Let's skip to the good stuff.
And we out. Welcome to the Soul Distro studio, and as I've mentioned, we are going to get a little bit of a master session, the culture of piano, and which is the culture of hip hop also, even R&B. They've got sessions where they come together and they start writing and they collaborate, and you know, sometimes you're writing for a hit, sometimes you're writing because a person is going through something, but they can't really express it. A lot of artists literally have got songs that are written for some of your favorite artists, from piano to R&B to hip hop. There's nothing wrong with it, because we came out of the publishing challenge also 2 weeks ago. Here, this is also where you make money, where you write for people, and you're ghostwriting. So as an example, there's that Chris Brown song that where he sampled Aphiwe. That song, basically, they used Aphiwe's voice as a sample. Aphiwe, without knowing, is now also part of that composition. What should have happened, if it is Aphiwe's composition the right way, and they've sampled it, Aphiwe literally is going to be making money through publishing forever, as long as the stuff is done right. That's how it should have been done. So that's what writing does. That's a sample of Aphiwe never wrote for Chris Brown, but they took a part of her composition and they literally made it part of the song. So with that being said, can I please introduce your masterclass leader? He's obviously been a part of a couple of studio camps. He's also one of the pioneering piano artists, but he's gonna be here today just to give you guys a little bit about collaborating, writing hits for people, or just writing something that has some emotion, right? So, yeah, guys, you wanna give them a clue?
Anybody?
Which one is it?
People looks like she knows.
I had to pick my jaw up from the floor.
Foka, man, thanks for... Where are you going? I know you got a flight in the next 30, 40 minutes. Where are you going?
I'm going to Atlanta, Cape Town first.
Okay. So, I mean, you've been around for a little bit in the game, and you know a lot about the camps that are happening in the piano game. Yeah. And you're a rapper actually before anything, so you also know about ghostwriting, you all these things. So I just wanted to kind of give you the light, just so you can talk a little bit about that, and if the guys have any questions, they could just share, just try get as much as you can. He's only going to be with us for a few minutes. It's on you, Foka.
I mean, first of all, shout out to you guys for making it to this level. Yeah. For me, competitions have always been a big part of my career because, it's a competitive sport. Just going to the top, you need to start from the competitive, energy, and then if you go deep and kill it, So big shout out to you guys for making it to this part. But in terms of writing is all about emotions. People always think it's complicating words or, but if you think of Lil Wayne, for example, he simplified the hardest things as a kid, and that's why he was Lil Wayne for me, as a rapper. Or even Drake, him being the GOAT that he is. We are even, more blessed in that even melodies for us, so it's about finding an emotion and kind of encapsulating it. So when you're looking at, I heard you guys are going to be writing for each other. It's what's the most, standout thing about this human being? What do they value the most? Especially the partner you do choose, having known them, it's what stands out the most. And sometimes it can be one thing, can be two things, it could be 10 things. But once you can encapsulate that into one strong emotion and make someone feel something, I think that's what's important, you know what I mean?
Focalistic is an incredible man, an incredible musical man. I don't think I've ever heard him speaking. I've only listened to his songs before today. Very wise.
I mean, one of the songs for me that were close to my heart is Banyana Ke Bafana, with Cooper. Just understanding who she was, made the song easier, so we focused on an emotion that she felt, I'm coming for the game, I'm going hard. I think that's a great example of getting to know someone, writing something that they would, embody. I think that's one of the most important things about writing. Lo and behold, that was the biggest song in her career, so yeah.
Kind of also shows you genius part, as an artist and a writer, because he's both, so and him being able to work with, so many people and write for so many people just pretty much shows how much of a genius he is.
I was in awe the whole time because he wasn't writing.
Just don't be too attached to ideas, especially if you want to keep your mind working and be in it for 20, 30 years deep.
When I heard pairing, I did have someone in mind, maybe a couple of people.
What's your writing process like? And I ask it because some people, if they don't finish a song in that session, they throw it away.
Yeah.
Some people need to sit with it for a week. Some people need validation from other artists and so forth. So how do you go about it when it comes to writing?
I think for me, I go about writing as creative as possible, you know, so I don't have like a specific, like this song has to work like this only. You know, there's feelings, you know, like Chomiki Chenji, Tapelo Tagadilendil is a song that I did 2 years ago. But like, we had the song and never like, it just never felt right. But it's not like we scrapped the whole idea, you know, so by the time I'm hearing another beat, it's easy to place those same words onto this. And I think mostly it's because that emotion thing that I'm saying, like, music is like a diary, right? So I might write it, but I'm not finding the canvas for it, you know? So I painted this picture, but I need to kind of like, you know, you're shopping for canvases now, like, where's it gonna fit well? And, you know, when you find it, it's a crazy moment. It's an aha moment when you do find it. Everyone agrees.
And also, could I just say something? I've been in studio with him. One thing I think I realized is how creative his mind is, you know? Because sometimes we want to put something and write it and want to perfect it when your mind is telling you something else, you know? And what I learned, I think, even from the session, was listen to what your mind tells you and then perfect it after. Do you understand? Because literally, I was in awe the whole time because he wasn't writing. When I busy phone, you're like, you know? So I think those are one of the things that we also need to learn, that you just take out your character on the mic and then after that you completely write it, you know?
I'm very precise or very an overthinker sometimes when it comes to writing structure and when it comes to completing a song. So he just re-emphasized how just like a poem, it's a never ending. You don't ever stop writing a poem, you know, you just take breaks. So when it came to the music, if you're stuck with it, just leave it for another time. Sometimes you write music on this certain canvas, but it doesn't fit.
I mean, for me, the Tiamfana story, so she sent me the beat, right? But when she sent the beat, I was busy on promotional, like, activations for Strata Nation address. So I was, like, kind of, like, busy, but, like, she'd always, like, call and come to the studio. And obviously now I'm working on other music, but I just, like, got inspired after one night out. And I just looked and I was like, you know, like, sometimes we get so trapped in our own brain, you don't see that someone else is going through something else. So, you know, I was just like, yo, hard enough. Like, you know, celebrate this, like, it's a long journey for all of us. So I wanted to, like, kind of, like, dedicate a song to her that even your first single, you know, it kind of like it's a timeline. Like, this was the beginning. And then you just keep growing from there. So, yeah. That's why I get home on Atangara 2010, because the vibes were so good, but I had to, like, kind of zone into, like, oh, damn. Yeah. So, yeah, it's just, like, one of those things. I think that's why I'm saying music for me is an emotion. You know, once you can capture that emotion, I don't think people, like, are that pedantic about what you wrote, because it's hard to feel something during the day, to laugh, to feel sad. You know, it takes a lot. So that's what musicians, we do. We kind of, like, play with people's emotions.
Don't you ever feel like personally attached to what you're writing? Like, oh, I wish I was singing this step.
I think the hardest thing, so like if, you know, aside from like us speaking right now, I think for all artists it's important to like read a lot, like Rick Rubin books, you know, on creativity. And I think that's where I started before I even like took music very seriously. For anyone creating, it's very hard to step away and like accept it for what it is. So I learned that very early in my career. Like, for me, I'm not too attached to ideas. It's like, it's just flowing, man. Like, I did it and it happened and I gave you this song, this song happened. Or, you know, for example, like there's a song we did in Paris, right? When you speak about like writing for someone you don't know, there's a girl came, I wrote this song for her. And this is my first like full-on songwriting credit like song. And it's so confusing because it's like, I felt like that was my song. Yeah. But she went and sang the whole thing, backed it, and it's like, okay, it sounds better like that. Actually, you're very right. It's your song, you know, so. Yeah.
I get my paper, though.
Yeah, as long as you get, you know, you get your credit. So I think just don't be too attached to ideas, especially if you want to keep your mind like working and be in it for 20, 30 years deep. You know, don't be too attached to a certain idea.
My brother, congratulations
Thank you.
on everything. I'm sure the guys appreciate it. I think there's a lot of gems to take in when you guys start preparing for your final presentation today.
Yeah.
Wish folk a good luck, man. Let them be great, you know?
Thank you.
From Boca today, I learned like, for one, consistency is key. Like it's very, very, very key. And being sure of yourself is like very important. Like, he's always been very sure of himself. So like, it showed me what like being really, really sure and true to like you, what it can do.
So, my brothers and sisters, you guys enjoyed that, right? It was very informative, right? Okay, we've got a bit of a surprise for you guys. You already know what the challenge is. So, each of you is going to pick a name. Whoever you pick, you are going to write a song for. So, we're going to start from here. Ziyakhala ke manje. My brother. We're going to reveal now, right? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Leave, baby.
So when we get this pairing, I'm quite excited because I like working with women in like the songwriting space as well. So yeah.
I got Miss Jones, Kayla. I kind of knew I would get her name for some reason. From listening to her music, I felt like I could actually write for her and stuff like that.
I got Miss Cheryl Zondi. Right over here. I was hoping it would be her, I'm not gonna lie. So I feel like there's something there, definitely.
Now we're gonna give you the numbers, gang.
We're outnumbered, bro.
2, 3.
Number 3, number 1.
1, 2.
Here's your brief. Today, we need you guys to make a song. You're gonna go into studio. One is gonna be the pen. The other is gonna be the vocalist. So the names that you have, that's who you're pairing with. You guys will decide who's the pen and you'll decide who's the vocalist, right?
When I heard pairing, I did have someone in mind, maybe a couple of people. Like Lisoleil, you know, I've heard her stuff. I know that she is capable of writing. Her words aren't empty.
The number that you have, we're using one studio. We want to talk the importance of studio time. We're going to give you an allocation to write and be in studio. If someone is literally running over your time, you have to make sure that you push them out because that's going to eat into your time. That means that you'll have less time. So here's my expectation from the writer. Once you've written and whoever you've written for starts singing, you'll be on the other side guiding them, or we could have a mic here, it depends. What we want to know, and the challenge is going to be like, how well did you get the brief from whoever you're writing for? And what's going to happen, we're going to have somebody who basically will hear how you briefed your writer and will then listen to the song and say, did that emotion, that fun emotion, that sad emotion, whatever the emotion you guys decide on, did it come out?
I think it's gonna be interesting in a sense that we're testing each other's sides, but collaborate in a collaborative way.
So let me give you your times. You've got 30 minutes to decide with whoever you paired with, who's writing, and that 30 minutes, who's writing and who's singing. And you've got 30 minutes also to then do that. In that same 30 minutes, you have to do that. So you'll have 10 minutes to choose beats after that 30 minutes. So that makes it 40 minutes, right? And then you've got another 30 minutes to record. So essentially you got 1 hour, 10 minutes, That 1 hour, 10 minutes, you need to make sure that you get out the studio so you don't eat into the next group's 1 hour, 10 minutes. You, whatever's the next group that comes, if they're eating into your time to be in studio, you have to push them out. My key thing is have you got the right hook? Focalistic talked about hook. You know, have you got the right melodies? Have you got you can have the right words? All these things
Message.
need to come out. You ready to go?
Yes, sir.
Let's make it happen.
It's gonna be exciting. I'm nervous.